mateys. Well, today let's talk a little bit about some tips on working with fiberglass and epoxy. Now, it's taken me a lot of years to learn this because I just did little bits at a time in that. So I hope that some of these tips and ideas will work out for you. And it wasn't always an easy learning curve. For example, here, I put this shelf in the lazarette. I didn't properly clean and prepare everything. And so now look at, now I got to take this out and redo it. Well, I think one of the first things to understand is that epoxy works and holds in two ways. First, there's the chemical bond, and then there's also the physical bond. So it's important for the area to be really nice and clean and free of all dust and any other kind of debris. And, you know, I've heard them, and I do, they say, rough it up with some sandpaper. Well, heck, even an 80 grit sandpaper to me seems pretty smooth. But what that does is create some little grooves in there that allows the epoxy to physically bond to it as well as chemically. Now, I use and have used the traditional Moss epoxy and the slow cure, or the catalyst to that. And now there's a lot of different ones that you can use, but this is the one that we're going to focus on now because it's what I primarily work with. Now, as far as a fairing compound, I usually use the Cellofill, which is more structural. And every so often I use the Phenonic micro balloons, and that's for work that's more cosmetic, I guess, than structural. It's easier to sand. I mean, it's still going to be strong, but I like the Cellofill for the structural things that I'm doing. And another great thing with the Moss epoxy is that it comes with metered pumps. So it's one pump of the resin and one pump of the hardener. Well, in general, guys, some of the things that we've talked about before that you always need to make sure you have: eye protection, you know, when you're sanding, even when you're just applying. Most of the time, you're not going to slap it up onto your face, but you never know what might happen if you're working on the side somewhere. So eye protection, breather mask, take that off so you can hear me, breather mask, disposable gloves or some type of gloves. And if you're going to be doing a lot of sanding, you know, wear a long sleeve shirt, or you can even get these painter arms that just go like the disposable things, like a painter suit, except just for the arm from here up to your elbow. Those are good to use. And if you're going to be doing some sanding, sometimes you have to, like down in the lazarette or in the engine room or someplace where it's pretty much confined, you want to make sure that you got good ventilation the best you can. And I would definitely wear a full body suit with the hood, and I'm thinking about getting a full face breather mask that's got the plexiglass on in front. And I've had something similar in the past, and what I've done with that is put a piece of saran wrap on the clear plastic. When that gets dirty, just peel that off, put another one on. Now, when you get ready to start mixing, you know, you can use the metered cups to mix in. I don't use them only because Moss epoxy has the metered pumps. And I know one pump of resin, one pump of hardener. I'm good to go. And that's pretty good because when you're just doing one pump of resin and one pump of hardener, it's just a little over an ounce. So for small projects, that works out really well. Now, if you've got a big project where you're going to use a quart at a time, then maybe you want to use the metered measuring cups. But I just save old containers, from the house, different size ones, and just mix it up in that. And sure, you can clean them when it dries, but this way, once it gets a little old and used up, it didn't cost me anything to get rid of it. And the same with these smaller cups, I just use that a little bit. And we mentioned this earlier in another video. When you get ready to start mixing your epoxy, it's recommended you mix for at least 3 minutes. And you don't need to be whipping it. In fact, you don't want to. You don't want to get a lot of air bubbles in there. Just be patient, stir it for 3 minutes, then add, like when I did the penetrating epoxy, I added 1 part of acetone and mixed that in. And then you'll see in our next video while we do actual projects that after the 3 minutes, I'll add our fairing compound and mix that to the thickness that we need. And of course here, no surprise, preparation is very important. And once you've got a hole you need to fill, well, start and cut your pieces of fiberglass ahead of time. And when you're filling holes or any area, you start with the smallest, then you go to the next, and so on until you get to the outside or to the finish where you're using the bigger piece. For example, here, now I made this piece of G10 a couple years ago to use for backing plates, but what I did is I drilled a hole in it so we have something to work with. Luckily, I don't need to do anything on the boat right now. But I've got this, you see I got the hole here, and I faired that out or angled it. And the idea here is that as you build up, you're building strength. Rule of thumb is, how far do you sand out? Well, it's approximately, if this were 1 inch thick, you'd go out 12 inches. So a 1/2 inch would be 6 inches, a 1/4 inch, which this is just a little under a 1/4 inch, is 3 inches. So what I did is, I took a marker, I went out 3 inches, and then I started sanding. Now a sander is good. You're going to create a lot of dust with this. A grinder would have done this quicker, but it would have done even more dust because the sander, has some filter to it, some vacuum to it. You could get the vacuum cleaner out, hold that there and do a little bit. Doesn't really work that well, but it does work. And how far out do you need to sand and what angle do you want to have? So what I did on this one, where this hole is, that is, I sanded that down to the point of 2 little pieces of fiberglass that are going to fit in here. And then layer it out. And we're going to do this in the next video. Another thing is, if you can reach the back of it, or let's say you're working, like here I had a hole on the side of the boat. I took out an old through hull. So I repaired it from the inside, and on the outside, I took a piece of foam plastic, covered it in saran wrap, taped that to the outside hull so that as I worked, this just didn't fall straight through. Now that's great if you can reach the back. What if you can't? Then what do? Well, then what you do is you take your smallest piece Then the next one, maybe like 3 pieces out. Wet it out first, and then apply it to this. So you've got your smallest piece inside here, and then you're starting to feather that out. And by the time you get to the outside, you're going to be pretty smooth. I'm not going to say it's going to be perfect. You may have to come back with some fairing compound, or you may have to do a little bit of sanding. But the idea is to build the strength for that hole. And remember too, say I put my rubber gloves on, or disposable gloves, to handle the fiberglass. Anytime you're handling fiberglass, you should wear some kind of protective glove, both for you and for the fiberglass, so that you don't get oils from your hand onto the fiberglass. Now another thing, guys, when we get ready to actually do some repairs, and maybe you have a repair on a corner or on an outside edge, you know, like here. Well, what I do is I just take a bucket, this is an old ice cream bucket, and you can make some of your own tools. All I did is take the scissors, cut what I needed, you know, made sure it was nice and straight. So it cuts easy. And the other thing you can do with this, all right, you've got your edge here to smooth things out. Well, maybe that's too much of a round. All you have to do is take a heat gun, just warm it up a little bit, and you can make this just about any size you want. So be creative when you're doing this work. Sometimes just a simple piece of plastic make your job a lot easier. Just be creative with it. And for a smoother finish on the outside, the finished product, probably going to want to use a chop mat, because that'll be smoother than even the 1708. The little lines, you can always come back, sand them down a little bit, put some fairing compound over it, and make it smooth too. But I always try to use the chop mat on my outside piece. It's strong and it gives me a good surface to work with. So now, guys, when we're working with wood, fiberglass does not like these sharp edges. It's not going to bend over that very easily. Especially a chop mat, it's just going to be difficult to do. So what we want to do is round these edges so that the fiberglass can just fold over that. And on the inside edge here, we'll take a thick fairing compound and we'll put that in. We'll use one of these and we'll make a nice beveled edge. And we'll do that in the next video when we actually work on this. The other thing when you're working with wood is you should always coat it in penetrating epoxy, at least 3 or 4 coats. And then that way, now I've mixed some the epoxy that we were mixing, and I added 1 part of acetone to that. And what we would do is, and we're going to get this ready for our next video then, is we're going to put 3 coats on this. And you see how thin that is? And the idea here is if you just started putting resin and fiberglass on this, started putting epoxy on this, you have an opportunity, unfortunately, for this wood to just suck all that epoxy out of the fiberglass, and you're just going to have a weak bond. If you have a good bond at all, you might not even have that. So what we do is we put this on, let that sit for about 5 minutes is all, and then we're going to apply another coat, and we'll do that to all 3 coats. Well, that's some of the basics of working with epoxy and fiberglass. And in our next episode, we're gonna do a few repairs. I got a few small repairs to do. This board that we showed where I cut that out, we're gonna repair that. And we'll talk about repairing, how to repair some irregular holes and some damage on the corners. So stay tuned. And until next time, happy and safe boating to you, your family, and friends.